Well, it's time to bottle up some wine again. I've made my wine again this year. I've been doing this almost every year for probably 20 years now. And I save my bottles. I get friends to save bottles if they drink wine. And one of my friends from Bunkie, Pierre, he saved me some good wine bottles. Now this crock pot I got from an antique store in Washington, Louisiana. They have a lot of good antiques over there, and that's where I found this crock pot at. And I like to use it to make my wine in now. I have a little hose here I'm going to attach to the side of it with a C-clamp, and you'll notice I kind of tilted it to the side where I can get it to come more to one side as it gets lower. Also, I've been saving some corks, and I've also ordered some corks. So I've got those ready. And I have my little stocking here. Got a clean new stocking there. That works very good to filter this out. So I'll get that into my funnel, into my bottle. Part of the filtering system here. And I just my siphon wasn't attached well. I'm having to reattach it. I want it to stay in place. Now once I suck on it like a straw, basically it starts coming out, and then I put that other little strainer on top of the stocking to catch any little berries or anything that's a little bit bigger. And that way my stocking doesn't get stopped up so quickly. And actually, using this method, I haven't had any problem with my stocking getting stopped up at all. Used to, when I would make this, I didn't have this method and my stocking would get stopped up right away. But now when I make my wine, I take the berries out of it a few days ahead of time and let it all settle, and it gives a chance for the wine to clear after you've pulled those fruit out of it. Now this is elderberry wine here, so that's the kind of fruit I had in it. It's usually elderberry wine that I make. Sometimes I do pear wine, but I don't do very much of it. Mostly I like the elderberry. This process does take a little while, but it's just kind of relaxing. Sit there and take my time and do it. Just like everything else, all things takes time. So just kind of waiting around for it to do. I got this recipe from my father-in-law. He used to make fig wine, and that's something I make sometimes too, is fig wine. It makes a pretty yellow wine. The pears do too, make a kind of like a yellow wine. But I prefer the darker one, the elderberry. And I think it's good for you, actually. I don't drink very much of it. And this kind of wine you can't drink very much of. It's not a kind of wine that you would want to get drunk on at all. Which I don't guess anybody needs to get drunk on anything, but this is kind of wine you need to be careful with because it is very strong. Just a small glass will relax you. So that's what I like to use it for every now and then. If I'm sick or have a cold, I like to use it for that too. Elderberry's very good for viruses and all that, so I like to keep it on hand. I think it would make a good border item too if you had to. You have to be kind of watch. I try to fill this stuff up to about the bottom of the neck on that bottle and then stop it. Now you see there, it had stopped siphoning. That's why I took the siphon hose out of it. So those extra bottles you see me picking up, that's just what they were, is extra bottles. I didn't need them. I was able to make, looks like about 10 bottles there. And I start putting my corks into them, which I had ready there on the side. And these are kind of beveled from the top to the bottom, and they fit in very easily. For this kind of winemaking, they work very well because I'm not using something to sink the cork down into the bottle. No kind of mechanical means of doing that. That one had a little too much in it to put the cork, so I put some of the wine in the next bottle that didn't have as much. And that's it, y'all. You just close it up, and then some of it, the bottoms of them needed to be wiped, so I went through them and wiped them before I put them back into their little holding box there. You want to make sure you do that. You don't want to put them in there with any moisture on the bottoms of them. And so I usually get my elderberries either on the side of the road because they grow wild. I have some growing in my yard here. Sometimes I get them there. Sometimes my daughter-in-law Jada will bring me some. She brought me some beautiful elderberries last year, and a bunch of them. They was the biggest, fattest elderberries I'd seen in a while. So I was very thankful to see her coming with those. And I just want to label them, you know, write what kind of wine it is on it, and also the year that I bottled it. So we got some elderberry 2025 here, and I'm just using some freezer tape. As you can see, nothing is fancy here. And I just want to place it on each bottle, and then I kind of abbreviated these and just did EB25 instead of writing all of that out, because I know what that stands for. So that this method works well for me. I haven't had any trouble with it. It's a very simple way of making and bottling wine, and it's I actually did another video on it where I showed how I made the wine and what I put in it and all that kind of stuff. This video is more like a little just showing you part of my daily chores. I've been moving my sister, and I had this wine sitting here. I needed to bottle it, so it actually sat here a week after I took the berries off of it before I was able to get to it to bottle it, but that's fine. I had it covered and it was just settling. It made a nice clear wine like that too. And that's it. Just pick up the crock dough, go dump the dregs out of it, and we're done.